So I've gotten a number of requests to do a sort of game collection video. So let's just start up here. Here's the original box for a Xbox. And the one just below it, that's the original one that came with the box, obviously. There's a second Xbox that was I think it was an estate sale find for like 15 bucks with all the cables, a bunch of games and stuff, so of course I just grabbed it. My original Sega Genesis. A lot of these consoles I've owned since new. If we go up here, original PlayStation 2 box and 2 PlayStation 2s. This one that's closest to you originally came with that box. And it's actually somewhat of a rare model, I think, because it is a first release model. And I waited in line in 1999 to get one of these things. And it's like, it doesn't play discs well and has all these other problems, and most of them got returned, but I was 12 at the time and I didn't know about returns, so I still have it. And I bought another PS2 because that one died and freaked out and had all these issues. So there we have a Xbox 360 4 gig. You know, you'd think that's not very exciting, but you go down here, there's my 4 gig Xbox, but it's actually a 324 gigabyte because it's got the 320 gig hard drive in it. I bought the 4 gig specifically because it actually ended up being cheaper. $179 plus like $119 for the hard drive. Oh, that included a free game too, so technically you could say it was $149. Sega Saturn, you know, this is a console that sadly is lacking in a lot of game collections, I think. It's got a cool like see-through window on it and stuff. I always thought this was a really interesting console. Here I've got 2 original PlayStations. This was my very first one. This is actually not a very common model. If you look at the back here, you got a parallel port and a few other odds and ends. That's because this is an SPCH 1001. That means that it was first released for North America. And here at the back, this is, see, I played this one a huge amount, so much so that it is really unreliable. And so that caused me to purchase another one of these brand new, which is an SPCH 9001. So it tells you a little bit. Here's the back of it. Here you can tell there's a difference. There's missing a parallel port. There's all kinds of stuff missing. And going back up to the top, 3 more original PlayStations. Yeah, the reason for that is because people just gave me these things. They were like, you know, I bought a PS2, I don't need an original PlayStation anymore, and I just kind of kept adding them to the stack. There's a PS2 Slim box back there, and that goes to one of these Slims. One of these Slims was given to me and I wrote "not mine" on it. There it is. So this one goes with that box, and one of these was given to me. They're pretty nice. You know, I ended up using these instead of the once I originally got my PS2 Slim, because both of those have really loud fans in the back. They've got these little like 80 or 70 millimeter fans and they're loud. And so I ended up using these Slim models, and like I said, one was given to me. Going over here, we have 2 original N64s. This one's kind of in trash condition, but it has that and everything. This one, however, is like as mint condition as I think you can really find. Check this out. That hasn't even ever been removed. Going up, this is actually where we get something that's kind of uncommon. This is a tangerine or fire or mango or whatever you want to call it, N64. And a fun story with this is I was at GameStop, or at the time I think it was called Software Etc. And I was looking to buy, I think I came in there to buy, oh, it was Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 for PlayStation 2. And they had these, in the same crates that you'll find the, you know, PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360 games. They had this system that had this controller with it, and all of the cables and everything that you'd need. And they wanted like $14 for it, and I had never even seen an orange N64, so I grabbed it. You know, now it's worth a hell of a lot more than 15 bucks, but still kind of an interesting find. So here is a black GameCube. Black GameCube goes with that box up there. And a purple and a silver GameCube. I'm just going to go ahead and pan down here. There's an original SNES and a Game Boy. Oh boy, how exciting. No one has these things. So, these two was at a estate sale. And they were for sale for $5 for the both of them. With the premise that they didn't work. And well, I thought, well, it'll be interesting to just take them apart or something like that, right? Ended up turning out they just had dirty lasers. So, cleaned them with a Q-tip and they worked fine. Let's go over to controllers, because I didn't do that. So down here we have two GameCube controllers. Over here, this is actually kind of an interesting thing that I haven't really seen many people have. This is an official Sony carry case. It came with this memory card originally. I think it was so that you could port these around easier, because these are like PlayStation 1 series memory cards. There's a bunch of 8 megabyte PlayStation 2 cards. Two green, I don't know why, I just ended up getting two green N64 controllers. Rumble pack. Original PlayStation controllers. If we come over here, this is where we start somewhat getting interesting, because, actually I should point these out. There's a jungle green, that I think that came with like a Donkey Kong pack. Tangerine controller. But I have never really found many of these. I've only seen like a few of these on the internet even. It's all white original PlayStation controller. There's one that seems to be even more uncommon, which is an all black PlayStation controller. But I haven't really found much of that stuff. Sega Saturn, you know, I'm actually a fan of these original N64 controllers. Over here we've got one of the first analog controllers. PlayStation 1, the tiny little PlayStation model controller. And if we go over here, you're going to say, holy crap, that's a lot of DualShock 2. And it is. This one originally came with one of the Slims. I bought it in a Costco pack. So, I just never bothered opening it because I have so many others sitting around. Here's where something gets interesting though. I have never seen another one of these. It's got, I don't think it's counterfeit or anything. It's got Chinese and Korean and English on it. But all the textures and everything are the same as you'd expect from a original PlayStation model. So that's something that you don't really see. Going down here we have a, let's see, what are those? Those are the, they're around the Slim model era of PlayStation 2 controllers. The colored ones, I should say. And going down, you have your generic DualShock 2, 360 controller. Those are some of the original, two knockoffs, two original. You have your blue one. You've got the big classic giant controller. And you know, I mean, everyone always complained, because I bought into Xbox right as these small controllers came out. That's why it says up here, now includes controller S. But I actually prefer this for some games. Like, I don't know, I prefer using this for Halo. I don't know, it's just easier somehow for me. I have really big hands, I should say. I mean, you know, that is nothing. It is tiny. But you should see me play with one of these. It's like, if I wanted to, I could press circle and... Anyway, this is just part 1. I'm going to have a part 2 where I'm going to set out all my games here in the same area. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, nothing here is really super rare, super collectible. Probably the highlights are probably the Tangerine N64 white PlayStation controller and a yellow PlayStation controller. Maybe the 1001, just because those aren't very common. I don't think they were built very well, so they sort of died or something. Anyway, guys, so check out part 2. That's where I have all my games. It's probably less of an extensive collection than this is, so thanks for watching. Have a good